just by our company, OBOR, we obviously appreciate being a part of this race and this series, and obviously we've only been in it for about a year or two. We're making some big pushes, and this will be a big year all around for us. So as a company, I'd like to say thank you for everyone that is joining a part of the program. So we got some barbecue. We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna open up the stuff. Just feel free to come on in, get some food, hang out. We'll see if we can get this as high as possible.
So obviously we have some good old Southern cooking. We got your mac and cheese, your baked beans, which obviously that's a staple. You got your half chicken, you got some pulled pork, and obviously you have your ice cold refreshing beverage of choice.
How am I supposed to roast my marshmallows on those chemicals?
That's really a problem you need to figure out.
Hey Dad, just throw that tire on there.
That would be a good advertisement.
No, I remember like when you first, well obviously it was Brandon at first. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And he approached me and he's like, Adam, we want you to test the tire. And I'm like, well, I really can't test anything, man. I said I can't be really, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, remember the first one? Was you there for the first one?
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I heard it was some
It was
bad one.
It was bad.
I just want to know what took you guys so long to want to talk to me.
The fact that I didn't know if it was something that you would want to take this journey with me. It's like marriage. He wasn't committed enough to me.
He was. He was.
So the first one we had was just, I don't want to say bad, but I remember we got him and I mounted him up, and it was probably 2 weeks before Brandon and Alex got there.
Yep.
And I remember I mounted him up and I was like, oh shit. Like this, I could just tell it was going to be good, you know what I mean? And we put it together and went out and tested, and it was an MX and an XC tire. And the first time they seen it, so Alex has never seen it, and neither has Brandon, just from drawings. Mm-hmm. And it's instantly Alex saying he was pissed. Like, called China, got to screaming and yelling, and well, I don't know what he was saying. He could have been saying, I want a Big Mac and a large fry at this point. But he's screaming and yelling, and he said, don't let this be a reflection on us or our company. And I said, well, no, it's fine. And it wasn't 3 weeks, and we had another one.
Okay.
So air freighted over, all that stuff, a whole new tire. And it was better. And Brandon asked me what I'd like changed, and I told him. And about a month and a half later, they come over for the final testing. And he wasn't well yet.
No, I wasn't quite in it yet. No.
Damn, I'm OG before you.
Dude, you were. I remember when I finally got the call and Brandon said, we're ready to hire people now.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, Adam's on our team now. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it.
The Gator.
Did you
because
consider
I worked with him at CST, and I was like, wow, that's funny how that came around.
consider not switching over?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Since Adam was there and all.
oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I should, go with someone else
Right.
at that point. Yeah.
Like, oh, I really wanted to.
I mean, man, I definitely remember that day, because I think I hit Adam up and I was like, so, it looks like I might be joining the OBOR team with you. And you were like,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember. So, anyways, they got me the third batch, and that's when we had the two different compounds, because they asked me what I wanted different from that, and I told them I wanted different compounds, or something we could choose from. So I essentially have like an entry level or a production tire for the average guy, or a racer that's a casual racer, and then you have a higher end product, still the same quality, but a different compound to where that it would provide better traction, but the life is shorter.
Right.
So they did that. I remember I took off on the I guess the spec tire you'd call it. We took off on it, and I remember coming back, switching, putting the race tire on it, and I went around, like, did a couple turns and shit, and come back down and took off my helmet. He goes, and I said, we can win on this tire. And he was pumped after that. And I remember, and I mean, just from like that moment forward, it was just constant, like, I mean, I was having a question because it was nervous because it's a new brand. It's not a new brand, but it's New Brand US, new company. Granted, same people, different environment, and I remember, like, not even sure if it's going to be real.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so I signed the contract, did the letter, all that stuff, signed it, and I'm like, hope it's real.
Hope you did the right thing.
I hope it's real.
Tell the truth.
I was just looking around to see what was out there, and I actually gave Adam a call to get at some contacts. And Adam kind of told me, kind of filled me in on the big secret of what was going on with him. And then we just got to chit-chatting a little bit, and then I ended up getting in touch with Brandon, and hell, it was, I don't even know. I mean, I know I talked to me, Adam, and Brandon a little bit, and probably wasn't a week, 2 weeks maybe, and Brandon had already kind of sent me an idea of what they wanted. And you know, we had talked about what I wanted as well, and then.
But at this point, I didn't even know there was a utility tire.
No.
You know, I just put you in touch with them because I had no idea.
Yeah, you didn't, but Brandon told me right away, and honestly, I mean, I think I told him, like, you know, I'd love to pursue this, but the first step is going to be to at least get a hold of the tires and ride them. You know, we were kind of in a hurry, and I told Brandon that, and he was like, "Don't worry about it." He said, "We'll get you some tires," and I was like. It was like Christmas, New Year's, all that was coming up. I'm like, it's gonna take a while to get some tires. That man was on the horn immediately. I had some tires to my front door in like 4 or 5 days. Put them on the bike, and you know, like I said, this was a good bit after Adam had already been testing them a little bit. So we got started on it and threw the tires on the bike. And at the time, it was the Cypress. And they felt great right away, really. And I think we've made minimal changes to what they came at me from the very first tire. And obviously now we got the Ripple and the Cornelius and working on the Howler as well, which I believe the Howlers are sitting at my house right now. But I am amped to get home, get them on the bike, because I think that's going to be a pretty good tire. But I mean, all of them have been good. And I've actually been talking Ben Wilson, which you met tonight, 4x4A, and David Dispaquale, also Obor guy on 4x4A. They rode the Ripple, and David was actually telling me just the other day, he's like, man, I've never really had you change suspension, big things happen, you change handlebars, it's a big change. He said changing tires, he's like, I've never just seen such like a big difference in just switching of a tire brand in obviously a positive way. So they're super pumped about it. I think the 4x4, and I haven't gotten a chance to get some side-by-side tires.
You wanna know why?
Because I just got a side-by-side like a week ago.
I have some.
Tires?
Yeah, but they're man sizes.
Yeah, I don't want
30s.
yours. Yeah, I don't want yours.
Can you stuff a 30?
No.
No?
So, Adam, tell us how we were sitting out there. I think, what was it? Was it Ironman? We were sitting out there in the pouring rain, and I think we finally looked at each other and said, I think we need to get some new riders for next year.
I remember all of that when we started talking about riders and who we was thinking of, and, you know, kind of what angle we wanted to go at. And, you know, obviously you have the best rider. You have the second best rider. No, I remember when we was looking for riders, and you was asking me some things about what I thought would be good for the brand and how we wanted to approach it. You know, do we want to pick up, you know, say more XC1, XC2 riders? Do we want to like spread it? And I think we did really well, because I think we have a very diverse group of people. You want somebody that's approachable, that's active through social media, and somebody that will talk highly of a brand. And I think we did very well, especially with starting up. So, you know, we had like the Bigfoot when we first started. It was like the mystical being and the mystical brand that nobody can get a hold of, right. but Gator and, well, this guy.
This guy got some.
Yeah. Well, I handed it down.
Right.
You know,
You were obviously the key player there.
I was. I pulled it all in and I divvied out to my minions.
For the record,
Oh,
I'm the boss here.
you're not the boss. So, yeah, I think we did very well. And one thing that, like, obviously is just a big question is, like, when's it going to be available? But I think what we did by doing this, we're still building hype. You know, we got people from North Carolina, correct? We got people from Florida. You know, you got me from West Virginia. You got him from Maryland. So I think we've got it all covered. And I think, you know, we've got Adam Pasquale. Disqualification.
Same thing.
Yeah. We got him.
Well, I think even like we're spread out through the country, but we're spread out here in the GNCC
Yeah,
series too.
I think we've got the classes. I mean, we
got
got
a lot of
WXC,
stuff
right?
covered, yeah.
We got a A class, correct? You know, we have a pro class, A class as well, right? B. So we got A, B, pro 4x4, and then we have a 4x4?
2A 4x4s.
2A 4x4s.
Yeah.
So I think we definitely got it covered as far as how we're getting things spread out. I think that the group of people we have, the drive of the company from China as well as US, the opening of the offices, the opening of the warehouse that we're getting, or that we have got, that we're just finalizing some things. I think it's only going to be positive from here. You know, we've got a good group of people. We've got some very hungry people. Not physically, but, you know.
We're pretty hungry too.
Yeah. You know. And we all seem to get along. So, Big Bear, cheers to 2020 and hopefully till 2020 more.
Exactly. Cheers.